welcome to Outside the Box. I'm your host, Kate of Gaia, with co-host Tony Z, who is in the process of trying to get on air right now. Normal trouble with Skype as it goes. You know the rules. The Skype gremlins do not like what we have to say anytime we open our faces. So we open our faces a lot, and we attract a lot of gremlins. And don't forget, guys, this is a call-in show, so please feel free to call in at area code 714-868-0749. So welcome to Outside the Box on Freedom Reigns Blog Talk Radio, where the truth is something that we just can't help ourselves getting out there, and get it out in as big a dose as we can twice a week here at Freedom Reigns, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard on Wednesdays and Fridays, and Tony is in the room. So I just bring in Tony live here. Before we go any further, Tony, what I do want to do is pay homage to all of those people that we are working with very closely in terms of getting the word out worldwide on numerous stations, numerous avenues of media, with awakeradio.co.uk. I do shows there every Wednesday morning. I did one this morning, of course, and that's from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 4 to 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And, of course, tonight in the UK, if you're tuned in, it is midnight, and you are a real truth seeker because you're still not in bed. And that's a good thing. I'd also like to thank QLP Multimedia, Johnny Guzman. By far, of all the people that interview me, he's top of the heap. Just always love doing video interviews with him. He just gets right to the nitty-gritty, and he brings the right information and the right questions to the table where it's accessible to all ears, all eyes, all minds. And that's really what it boils down to, because we are all in this boat together called Earth, and the easier it is for people to grasp at whatever level you're at, grassroots, right up to, theological scientists, or whatever you want to call it, top-end professors. We have a message to share for everyone, and we hope, and this is our only hope, they grasp the concepts that we are trying to share with you as much as we do. There's also a Pied Piper with TruthCentralRadio.com. I think Tony's going to bring in a couple of others that he is involved with as well, just to get the word out that it is extremely important that we, as a unified voice of all radio stations that are trying to get this message out, that everyone gets their due diligence of praise. And I do say praise very loosely. This is not about, oh, look at me, that's ego aspects. What this is about is so many of us have thrown in everything into this game to get what we're sharing with you tonight and every time we're on the air, literally for free. So we just hope that you value the truth enough, and everyone's got their donate buttons. And I put a word out today as far as Santo Bonacci, who's going through the middle as well, Bill Donahue, always. These people, Tony, you've got a donate button on your site, and of course there's always the chip in button on Freedom Reigns if you feel free to chip in towards my direction. But anyway, that's not important. What is important is while we're in the now, we get the word out now. So Tony, that being said, how are things in the jurisdiction of the United Kingdom?
Clamping down in all sorts of areas as usual. We're in a police state where it's tightening CCTV cameras, and we've got all the bee's knees here, locking us down bit by bit. Pretty much the same everywhere else, but it's a bit tighter in the UK.
Yeah, and Tony, there's no surprise there. Here we are in Libra, which is the scales, the balancing, the gathering of groups, and unification of people. Libra is an extremely powerful force, and as I've said before, and will continue to say, that what we're experiencing right now is the culmination of 2,160 years of holy science being compressed into each 29.5-day cycle of each sign. So what people are going to be experiencing, the sun is a prime example of that energy that is really starting to ramp up to get this information into people, and powers that were are doing their utmost to block it in all ways. Chemtrails, you name it, HARP, oh geez, Tony, the list goes on, eh? MK Ultra stuff, even in the very electricity we use with the 60 hertz cycle, and one of their most powerful tools, of course, and I know people that are tuned in right now do not watch television. That is their most powerful tool of indoctrination. And what most people don't realize is not what they're watching on TV, but what the carrier waves are generating as you're sitting there in that semi-hypnotic state. And that's where they're programming your reptilian brainstem. And I did have a couple of questions earlier from people today, Tony, that I'm going to get you to address with your expertise in terms of time travel and time jumping and whatnot. My own experience, of course, but with regards to Saturn and, well, it being Chronos and time. One of the observations from Lucas, thank you for this little bit of information update. Mount Etna erupted and there was a 15-minute loss of time. I believe that was last year. I'll go to the post and read it outright. I love the fact that so many people are contacting you, myself, and so many others, and all this information is coming in hardcore to a crescendo. But I will ask you this, Tony. Are you feeling the coalescence of all of the people that are required to be together, coming together? I'm seeing it.
Totally. There's no question whatsoever. It's all happening at once.
Oh, exactly. So I'm just going to go to my messaging. Okay. Not on that. I believe it was in a post. I have to go to my email, so I'll go there. But anyway, yeah, so Tony, I do have an essay tonight, and I think maybe just to get the energy of what we're going to talk about, I think I would like to share that first. And again, this is about revealing truths of truths, and every essay that I find myself writing is directly delivered from source. I'm just a messenger here, and you're Gemini, I'm Gemini, so that's our job. We're supposed to be getting the word out, and I think we're getting there. What do you think? Just a bit. And I think I mentioned last week to you that last Wednesday's show with Peter, when I was just Googling around the net and stuff, and I come across the fact that of 2,399 shows last week, we were in the number 6 spot for popularity. So not bad for a newer show on Freedom Reigns, but Freedom Reigns has always been at the forefront of bringing truth to people and exposing things like the Tim Turner and Ruta and Drake, exposing them for our pure shill aspects to keep people in anger. And I guess maybe tonight, if Diaz wants to jump in, to give a bit of an update on what is going on with Tim Turner. And as far as I know, he is in jail right now, and he does not get a court appearance until March. So no bond, no bail, nothing. So they consider him a severe flight risk with the amount of money he's all around the world. Now, when you have someone that's got that kind of asset around the world, the first I always go to is what kind of interest you have, and they're really not, for me anyway, they're not doing that which needs to be done in dispelling this illusion, this mono-eye God aspect. So what do you think? Start with the essay?
Yeah, go for it. Get in there. Tune it out.
Okay, and then I do touch on the time jumping very briefly in this essay. And I do want to get into that because it is a critical piece of information as to how these guys operate, work their ways around it. I can show people how easy it is to absolutely screw with their program, which is kind of why we're here, right? But without further ado, I'll do this essay. The title of the essay, and I do these in chronological order. You can get them on the page. Thank you, Cynthia, for all the work you do, keeping it organized and pretty for everyone. Essay, and it's www.levelformind.wordpress.com. this essay I wrote a couple of days ago is called "Forgive Them Not, for They Know What They Do." All right. Now, before you all go off cockeyed and vengeful, remember this. There is good and evil in everything, and everything you have ever experienced was your choice as well. You were there, and every choice you have ever made brought that particular now moment. None are guilty, inasmuch as none are innocent. Such is the nature of grasping the singularity of the duality paradigm. I have to give an offer of gratitude to Mary Croft, since it was she who inspired this little essay today after our little talking about this and that, shoes, etc. chat. Much obliged, Mary. Thank you. As I have so often said and will continue to say until it sinks in, if you feel the need to forgive, you have judged that you have been wronged in some way. The only judgment and forgiveness is the responsibility of each and every one of us, singularity duals, upon ourselves and self. Now, to me, of all things, this is the most critical thing to grasp. If you are caught up in the good or evil, you are trapped and will be because you are living in duality, not the singularity of duality. Now, while you blame outside of yourself, you will be seeking vengeance, period. This is also trespassing on the free will choices of self and others, and why I do not offer help to those who are not seeking it. As I say, and will continue to say, be a light and others will see it, if they choose and are ready to. Now, it is always my hope that the moths come close enough to my own flame where I can set their wings on fire, where they, too, become a beacon of light for other moths like us. That being said, let's get to the nitty-gritty of the essay title. Every sentient being knows when they are doing harm, and it is only through their own greed and ignorance that they do this or continue to do this when they have been shown the harm they have caused. Now, this is not about judging, wherein observations in peace have become your most powerful tool, if you can be strong enough to wield it. Take, for example, all of the beings that continue to attack me when I was advising them all along that I was being harmed by their ignorant of truth actions. That is the joy and permanence of truth. And once discovered, it is yours with no retreat. Again, this is all about perspective and perspective only. I locate my perspective with this easy formula. Is that something I would do or something I would not do, as per my perspective of choosing my own experience? Would I knowingly harm myself or not, is another way of saying that. While there are some that would choose that, that is their choice, and is fine with me as long as it doesn't include me. That's my free will choice. All too often, we pretend to be everyone's parent by saying, do this and don't do that. At what point did you decide to play the over-God in that most judging of others role? Let's take the judge that bowed to me as a prime example. No one can tell me that this guy wasn't a savvy higher-up in their illusion game. First off, let me make it clear that there was no ticket or tickets as they claimed there was. That's lie and deception number one. Even the local paper was playing along, doing its level best to toe the party line of the courts and cops alongside the City Hall of Guelph and all parties involved there too. Oh yes, there were many folks involved in this ruse. And what most people also do not realize is that they consider all people to be experts in commercial paper and negotiable instruments, in that everyone uses their paper every day. Now, things like cash, checks, contracts, etc. Yes, according to them, you are an expert. You are a merchant of law, as the assumption. Many have not read the clerk's praxis and how admiralty law really works. While all that is fine and dandy, it can also be assumed that they too are the same in making that assumption of assumptions in the first place. So herein lays their quandary. Only an expert can claim to make an equal assumption of another. In short, to be able to call someone an asshole, you will have to had to be one at one time or another, eh? So, on the 1st of September 2010, when I gave the payment bond called a birth certificate in to settle the account, it was ignored for only two reasons. Either the judge that day is ignorant of being a merchant of law and thus shouldn't have been sitting on the bench that day, or it was a willful fraud on his part. Now, my assumption was that he knew exactly what I gave him, an apostille's copy of the birth bond to be used as payment, and that it was he, not I, that was obligated to stand it on. At all, he assumed me to be an expert, in as much as I equally assume he be an expert as well. Hey, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, from equal and opposite perspectives. Here's the real problem now. The birth bond was given, left there, and it's still there, for any and all future requirements to serve any and all pit needs their greedy little hearts desired. And what this means is that every willful act against me and my family, done either ignorance or willfully wishing harm by means of pure and utter fraud. I have to assume the latter, because if I were to assume the ignorant on their parts, they all need to find new employment, since they are mentally incompetent to do their jobs, as required for any and all peaceful settlements. Now, how's that difficult? This is where I return full circle in my essay called Choices. They are now caught in the universal laws of devil and deep blue sea, or, and if they do, damned if they don't. You see, I can always understand when someone harms unknowingly, in any circumstance, that I there as well. He learns something, although I find it difficult to understand if they keep doing the same things over and over again. This reeks of ignorance, insanity, and malfeasance intentions. It all goes down to the intention from a ignorant perspective. Always. This is the problem with all of their silly laws that are based solely in commercial law, and it's been that way since the first. Affectionately known as Eddie Longshanks. You know the guy. That's the guy that William Wallace pissed off and then handed him back. It actually goes back a lot further, but that's a reference point for most. Now, there is no criminal law. It's all criminal, and it's hidden under the guise of that. This is why people like O.J. Simpson and many can get away with murder, literally. It is all about charging an account. More simply put, it's all the money or the mono-eye God they worship. Something else they will have to consider. The ones that are ignorant of this is that anyone brings charge forward is responsible for paying for it. Hey, you don't pay anyone else's visa statement when they charge something to you. What in effect happens is that they make you assume it is you who are being charged by their goods you do not want all of that you pay for. This is not about doing what is loving and right to me, and it's quite the mirror of that. This is how they submit, and the level of ignorance or willful harm that it has gone to. In short, when a cop wants to charge you anything, they must pay for their bond, so make sure you get their QSIP number, right? So this is the thing as well. Once cops get this message loud and clear, they're a little more apprehensive about handing out charges they have to pay. Hey, there's a law too, and most experts as that way. And that's what courts in the system assume, right? Goosey gander, baby, goosey gander. The only question I ever ask a judge now is if they are Christians of law. With that simple, comes all the proving for ignorance and honor. It is beyond laughable, and it's sad when I read info like Meads versus Meads, where just like, yes, you are now, what is eloquence about why he made his decision that goes on to rate anyone challenge their wannabe God status. While I agreed with the position that those who try to use the law to make light of something they did wrong, I find it equally insulting that he berates anyone exposing his system of law as the fraud mess it is. It's akin to he went on to the freedom movement / sovereign citizen, etc. Realms and rights. So, being gimmies that are, I know that somehow one of the best known beings in this truth movement was not listed. I mean, it was an injustice, and you'd think he'd consider the only thing that made one his patriots. Now, wouldn't you? I know exactly why I wasn't mentioned, and that is for you to figure it can. But I find also that it could have made all this go away if they just left me alone, as was my intention. leave me outside that box. I also enjoyed his vision to make sure that all Canadians enjoyed the protections, etc., of the very laws designed to screw them. That's the origin of either. Epic fit in my book, and I only have one set, not two sets I like to keep. It's really simple from my overview. I give them the bond person they were commercially seeking to settle all accounts, and what to do after that. Well, I'm getting tailed constantly, pulled over and hassled by the same cop, Craig Nye, 3 times, and the group of Welsh defenders in Hamilton, having my family parts, stealing my house, my truck, my car, vast amounts of my possessions, 2 collecting, 1 mine, and my left me weed up, thousands on thousands of dollars worth of food, emptied my bar, physically abused me, sexually included, numerous times, unlawfully imprisoned me for 28 days in solitary, timed me to correct a document, etc. Now, also another, these called experts have bungled every piece of commercial paper they've ever tried to ram down my throat. Even the lead detective, Kevin Slickdick, stood up on a document he was trying to serve me that made him the respondent, not the opponent. The judge even mentioned it being a level of incompetence she wasn't used to. They have screwed up every paper with the latest exposed where time jumping it is no option. That's another statement. Shut off when I asked him about during my abuse solitary. I wonder how he'd feel sitting in a cell 24 hours a day beside a guy who was there murdering a 12-year-old. And remember, this is not about anger or revenge, but simply outlining the amount of sheer contempt and ignorance these beings have for mankind as a whole. So letting them know that this is something I would reach on them. Where I really begin to feel pity is when I realize that they will have to undergo all these tests at some point, because the pendulum must return a full opposite swing to bring the balance of natural laws with them to mutual center. There is pure truth in what comes on goes on. Bully goes there a bully, and eventually every bully gets their ass handed to them. The balance of harm they foment on others is what they can expect in return without me or anyone ever lifting a finger, such of this universe. These beings have to self-correct. If they don't, you know for them. The real laws say so. Indeed, forgive them not. They do, and they'll have to come to terms with that and settle a much more important account beyond their illusion of their high God. We are in the scales of Libra right now, where this reckoning is coming down to bear, and they know it. Eventually, we Scorpio, and the scorpion sting will be upon all of those, only harming another. And as far as asking some penis-laden old guy with a beard in the sky forgiveness, look, because ye are gods, silly, and you will render your own judgment upon self. No one, nothing else, since we are all photons of light from pure creator consciousness, where the light is permanent and generally. There is no one coming to save you. And the fact that they use the whole in their course means that I know what the book is really saying, and it sure ain't literal. So in closing, I will allow all these from me to put back in place that which they have rendered against me. Jesus in love and truth. I now your mirror, where you are completely visible. No smoke for how this universe works. Like you said, well, you're chosen masters anyway. If we're Satan, we're doomed. Well, sorry to have to tell you, I am awakened and brighter every day, where action you have wrought or attempt will only blow up in your proverbial face. It is my wish that you not be hard. So from there, the choice really is yours. I will not trespass on your abilities to experience every your choices seek for you in your own evolution and knowledge. Besides, judge not, lest ye be judged, comes into play. No, there's one pendulum I am steering my ship well away from. Your move. Much love. Tony, you there? That means there we go. Got Tony back now. I guess you got dropped off, did you?
I'm getting a lot of feedback,
No.
a lot of interference this end. I don't know if you're getting the same.
Not hearing the thing on this end, so I don't know. I guess we can have some people let me know in the Freedom chat room. By the way, you can join in the chat room at brain.us/chat. So feel free to be jumping there. I guess ask TJ, how are things sounding okay for you? And you can type that in the chat room. All right. So we have someone else on the line, and I vaguely recognize the number, so I will. That individual is there someone, so whoever's dialed into it, so I'm going to turn hot and pop in and say hi. Okay. I did try to make it hot. 1 second here. There now. Oh, area
Hello.
61. Hello. Who we got?
You got Dr. Welser from North Carolina, but I couldn't hear anything, almost anything that you said, except the judge not lest he be judged, I think you said. But you're breaking up terribly, just terribly. Really, basically unlistenable.
Oh yeah, I've got a great feed here.
You're breaking up on the Skype phone line.
Wow, because everything is like okay here.
Somewhere or other, you got a huge problem. I heard this. You saying something that it's okay where you're at, but man, it's terrible out here. I know. I mean, I like listening to you, Catherine, but I couldn't tell what you said.
Oh, again, huh?
I couldn't tell what you said then either. I'm sorry.
Oh no, here.
Thought you ought to know though.
Yeah.
All right. Guess. I don't know. Let me here.
Turn off any
I
other
enjoyed
window.
listening to you, just I couldn't tell what you were saying.
Okay. Yeah, I've got everything hot here. Everything is great. Computer is fast enough to make audio calls and high quality video. So
Yes.
I don't know what.
I don't know how that the operation runs from your end, but it isn't working very well. That's all.
Oh.
Turn off the video, Kate.
I haven't got video on. I've got everything running minimal here. Everything. So let me just shut down as much as I possibly can. And I'm sure I had a second computer going, so I'm just wondering if that might have been interfering. There's a couple of computers right here, but I don't see that as being a problem. I got 5 bars here, all quality. Hear me? Tony?
Yeah, I'm suggesting, is there any way you can play a tune and maybe we can call back in and get logged back in again, because it really is terrible.
Okay, that ended. I'm going to put tune on, and we'll try this again. So, good guys, the gremlins are hard at it. We've got in the corner, so that's what's going on. So I'll talk to you and call back in so you guys can hang up. And definitely, Dr. Wise, call back in, and your feedback is awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so I'll disconnect you guys and myself, and I'll call back in. I'll do in the meantime. Okay, you're listening Outside the Box. Here's a song called Feel the Broken Dreams. Enjoy. We'll be right back.
I've never seen before my eyes this dream. I've never known what makes this child to see. Like tears from a mountain pouring gently to the sea, a curiosity. Will you dare to touch my soul? are so frail that we can't hope to be more than we are, more than our hearts can see. And if for any reason on this field of broken dreams we stand to lose it all, then for you, yes, I do it willingly. If this is our moment, captured in time, always to sustain, for lost in your eyes I find are the only means to remain. Searching relentlessly, just like a cloud, she chases her rain. We'll stand here firm, 'cause we are an island protected by love on this field of broken dreams. It's never clear, this path of destiny. That's why we're here, to find our need to be. Elusive as a rainbow, we can try to steal her gold, but she'll give it willingly. Will you dare to ask her though? We'll find a way, we must believe in us. There'll come a day we'll soar, and when it does, the sky will have no boundaries. I will challenge every sea. I will never lose this dream. 'Cause for you, yes, I do it willingly. This is our moment, captured in time, always to sustain. Lost in your eyes I find are the only means to remain. Searching relentlessly, just like a cloud, she chases the rain. We'll stand here firm, 'cause we are an island protected by love on this field of broken dreams. On this field of broken dreams.
Okay, we're back. Had a little tinkle too. Dr. Advisor, can you hear me okay? Can your mic hot? Sorry about that. I asked you before I made the mic hot. Anyway, there you are. You're here. Okay, just wait for you. You're anywhere near the phone right now. Yeah. Anyway, Tony did go up, and I don't know what happened to him, but. Okay, I am absolutely tempted to read that. Oh, I got into Skype again. Oh yeah, there's the gremlins. The Skype gremlins are really messing with that.
Hello?
So there you are. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Dr.
I can hear you. But I can't hear you okay. You're breaking up very similarly to before. Slightly better, but not a whole lot.
Oh, this is crazy. I've got full bars here. Quality is off the grid. It doesn't get any business. And hey, I was doing shows besides, high end train tracks, and here we are with all the planes, trains, and automobiles. Oh yeah, and planes we had there. Anyway. Again, interrupted. Connection problem. I'm just wondering if that's shielding.
You know what? I'll have it down.
No, I got bars. There's no way. There's no way. This is strictly a Skype. Problem with the internet connection. Hold on while I get the call back. Like, what is going on here? This is nuts. Anyway, I'm just hoping Tony's back. There he is. Tony, making your mic hot. Just want to see if he's there.
Yep, just a couple of seconds ago, just managed to get back in.
Yeah, I know. I've got it open. Is this normal or what?
The line is terrible. It really is.
Unreal. One sec. I'm actually going to find my other computer, see if I can get a line there and call in from Skype there. And, I can't because I'm already hot on this board. I could be a call though. I am just wondering.
I'm just thinking it's a tiny bit better than what it was before. So there's been something.
So I know what's going on. I'm just going to have to keep flying with it here, Tony, because to your and I'm breaking up. I should be because I have got everything like to the wall here. Just plug my mic and use the computer. So I'm going to need you guys to give me a little feedback here, okay? So I'm going to do this. The whole room's live and hot, okay? So here we go.
Just for reference.
Okay.
Just for reference, T. Marie saying I'm clear and it's your end that it's breaking up. So whatever's happening is happening at your end.
No, I saw that. She's got in the chat room. Is this any better? Can you hear me at all?
It's a tiny little bit better than what it was before, but I mean it's still bad.
Okay. Because I have a headset. It's not a headset. It's not a computer. Oh, man. Well, it's a good thing that the recordings work. Still breaking up. Okay. I don't know what to do here. I don't know. Oh, you're good. I have got 5 bars across the board everywhere. So I don't know what this... Yeah, I know about for all the breaking up and having guys, I know it is. We're scaring the shit out of these guys because we're spewing pure truth. The Trolls are giving us a hard time tonight, guys. We're getting through and hate it. Thank you, Tony, for sharing that. So I'll tell you what, Tony, you can do just a bit of a spiel there and see if this can readjust itself regarding the temps, and you can reference back what happened to me if you want, or whatever, but give some example of yourself and try to explain to people what time jumping is and real, and how perfect a tool for screwing with us that it is. Okay?
I'll certainly give it a go.
So what's yours, Mike?
Okay. Just text me when you've got a handle on this, or just come through and just let me know that things are back online. Okay.
Well, I'm going to talk and let it sort itself out.
Well, do what you can. Okay, just to fire into this thing a little bit. I know the whole line of the show is more about freedoms and getting us free of this construct, etc. But to put it in more ways than one, the construct isn't just legal. The construct isn't just one or two aspects. It's in every aspect. It's in everything we taught. What we taught is real. What we taught is not real. Spirituality is been messed with as far as religion. Our education has been messed with. Physics has been messed with. They've told you things that are just completely and utterly bull, basically. Just to run a couple of examples through Newtonian physics, as it's been adhered to all the way along, as taught in all the colleges and all the education systems. It's one big mess. Thank you, Lynn. Tell me about it. I wouldn't have believed it. I swear to God, as God is my witness, I would not have believed it could have been this messed up. It's incredible. Again, all right, getting back to time, so let's try and keep it on topic, as it were. So everything we thought we thought we knew and had done that, dealt with, and understood, basically turns out to be completely and utterly wrong. Let me give you some examples, just a couple. As I said, Newtonian physics is wrong. It's actually about Röding physics, which is harmonics. Again, I can give you a massive amount of information on that, but if you check out Marco Röding and physics, there's a series of lectures. One of them is 44 parts long, another one is 22 parts long, but anyway, there's even more stuff than when I looked at it last. So what's actually happening is we're living in a harmonic universe with harmonic laws and harmonic physics. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this is because one of the things that many people have learned over the past many years is that all our aspects are wrong. Now, if you look back at some of the Vedic teachings, they were also telling you about harmonics and fractal geometry and all these sorts of things. But one of the things that Hitler was actually, and I refer to Hitler quite accurately, one of the things he was looking into was the esoteric sciences. And it's about, basically, Hitler was looking for the Holy Grail, he was looking for the Ark of the Covenant, he was looking for secret information. And part of what he actually found was the Vedic teachings and the Vedic sciences, which refer to this universe that we live in being harmonic. So, reference the time travel aspect. When he got hold of anti-gravity, and yes, I said anti-gravity / free energy technology, one of the things the Nazi Bell program identified was that what happens when you build an electromagnetic field is that time-space is warped. In the same way as time is warped around a black hole, time is warped around a electromagnetic field, to the best of my understanding as it is. So that's how you can bend space-time. If you look at Michio Kaku, for example, and look at some of his work on time physics and how bending of space and time is a reality, you'll do some digging. But, I mean, I will be quite honest with you. If you go out and get the book that I put together, and it discusses lots of different aspects about time travel, which was Blueprints of Cosmic Consciousness. If you download that and go through the first part one of the book, I go into time in great amount of detail. Cutting a long story short, when they build these fields, they have the ability to transgress time and space, both, literally, because they're one and the same. When you bend space, you bend time. When you bend time, you bend space. You can't separate the two. So that wouldn't work in our Newtonian physics, but it does work in the holographic physics that we're looking into. And that's how they've managed to get this stuff working. I'll give you some other examples of other things that have been presented themselves, let's say, through research. The partially known Philadelphia experiment is one example, but there's much more information on that. You can look up Al Bielek to do with that particular program. You can look up the Vatican chronovisor, which is, again, ancient technology that's been hidden back away from the human race. About this chronovisor was allowing the Vatican and the priesthood to look through time fields, and lots more. But anyway, what's happened basically is they've tried to manipulate time to get the right outcome, and this has gone way back, and it's backfiring. So, another one is the looking glass technology. When we look at Dan Birch, for example, and it actually gives you the physics on how the looking glass technology works. But they've been trying to mess with time to try and get the outcome that they want. Now, what's actually happened is it's basically backfired on them, because the more they mess with the time fields, the more paradigms pop out of the nowhere that we weren't on the timeline previously to, and basically they've ended up tying themselves in knots. So the more they jump around and try and fix things, the worse they're making it, because they can't predict the outcome. When they started to mess around with the technology, they could have, but now they've just gone way too far with it. There's lots of information. Again, I would recommend downloading a copy of the book and looking through it from there. But they have this technology. You've seen it in the movies, again, Hollywood and all the rest of it. But no, it's real. I give examples of Antarctica, when they released weather balloons over Antarctica, and all the instrumentation on the weather balloons went to 1962 or something along those lines. And they took this. This is all the computerized information that was on the actual weather balloon. As they released it up to a certain height, it vanished. It disappeared. In other words, the rope that it was tied to was taut. The balloon itself disappeared, and they brought the actual weather balloon back down. It wasn't just a weather balloon; it was atmospheric measuring, sophisticated piece of kit. When they brought the weather balloon back down, they found it was reading this back in time, and also all the conditions related to the choreography of that particular time period. So they notified the military, but one of the other things that they did is they basically tried it 3 other times, and each time that they did it, it came back with the same information. And that was exactly the same, and they reset the computer on every time. So this is just one aspect of the things that we thought weren't real, but actually it turns out on deeper investigation are real. And just to sort of nail the nail right home, you need to look into, how can I put this? We've been told that there's a nuclear situation whereby they can let bombs off all over the planet, and we get a nuclear holocaust with all these nukes going off all over the planet. It's complete and utter bull. It cannot happen in a harmonic universe. And just to prove it, we need to look at a guy called Bruce Cathay, who predicted the atomic bomb tests for various countries much prior to the events, and he hit home run with every single time, day, position, astrological alignment, and right down to the precise time that they actually detonated the test explosions. And he was bang on, and he did it not just for one country, he did it for many countries. And there is much more to this harmonics than people have any idea. Again, I'm not going to refer to that one, but there's a guy called John Hutchinson, who's using frequencies to rip metal rods in half and to levitate anything from a plastic cup with paperwork with water in it, to iron cannonballs, to, he's doing some incredible stuff. Again, John Hutchinson. If you look him up, you'll see, and all he's doing is manipulating frequencies and directing them towards, what can we put it, objects, all different kinds, from ice creams to cannonballs. As I say, it's incredible stuff. All the stuff that we've been told about has been lies. Right down to the nuclear plants. Oh, we need nuclear power, blah, blah, blah. Absolute rubbish. We don't need nuclear power at all. Again, it's all in the book. Professor Jonathan Searle, Nikola Tesla, Hitler himself, and there's many other people that have developed anti-gravity systems. And on that note, and electrical systems, on that note, I'll just mention a home run here. There's a gentleman, an Iranian scientist called Mirhan Kesh, and if you look up keshfoundation.com, he has written a letter to Obama explaining the truth about free energy, anti-gravity, force field systems, and many other things, including how to pull matter out of thin air, which is absolutely true. Where do we think all this matter came from in the first place? It manifests here through certain means. Those means were harmonic and energetic. But the point is, he's pulling out proteins from the ether, which is what it's called in the Vedic teachings, etc. Basically, he can pull together food, water, or anything else that we could need. It can be put together in a replicator, basically a replicator machine that can literally give us endless supplies of food. All the things that we've been told about have been lies. you know. But it's only when you actually get in there and do some serious research on this sort of stuff that you actually begin to understand. Okay, yes, absolutely, seriously. Again, I'll just run through a couple of them. Miahan Kesh.
Hey,
Hi, Kate, you're back.
I wanted to jump in. Yeah, I listened the whole time. You haven't broken up once. So I'm thinking that maybe you can hear me okay now?
No, I'm afraid not. Still cracking up.
Still the same?
Still the same. Okay, I'm actually going to move a little location here. Let's get the energy and put a big umbrella around this area here. If we can, that's great. And we have that post that I wanted to share with you with time travel as well. So, yeah, there we go. I'm moving the rate.
I'm still trying to make out what you just said.
Carry on. I'm going to move where I'm sitting.
No.
No. Just talk. Talk.
Okay, got that bit. Right, okay. So, yes, these things have been hidden away from us. Now, I've just had somebody point out, well, you know, why is that any relevance to Obama? Well, let's put this number one. You can actually look at Obama's reply to Miahan Kesh's work, which is out there. But the thing is, if you have free energy and you have anti-gravity, you lose control. You need to keep control of the energy supply, and you need to keep control of the money supply, and you need to keep control of the travel. Otherwise, people actually have freedom. And this is the biggie. They do not want anybody to have freedom. They do not want freedom to have actual medicines that cure you. They do not want you to have freedom to travel. They want you controlled. So you need a license and a passport. They want you in desperate need of. They want you in need of food. They want you in need of more money to survive. They want you in need of medical medicines, which are actually turn out to be chemicals. They're not actually vitamins, nutrients, minerals, etc. All of these things are control constructs, the same as the law, the legal systems, the me, the birth certificates, all of it. They're all levels of control. If you cannot see who's pulling the strings, in other words, the Wizard of Oz, then you are never going to be able to point the finger and say, look, the emperor's got no clothes, or look what's going on. And this is where they're going. That's what it's all about. This is why the magnitude of the lie is so huge. It's incredible. I just can't explain it enough. Again, if you look at, all Kate's work, it's been breaking down the fiction. It's been trying to get to the reality. What the hell's been going on? And this is what we've done. But I've done it in my way, which is put the book together to help people to understand the realities that where have we been lied to, why have we been lied to, and where's it going? And it was when I'd gone through this book that I found Santos's material and understood the astrotheological aspects. I'd already looked at Rhodian physics and the harmonics, i.e. the astrotheology. In other words, the moon pulls on the earth is pulled by the sun is also pulled by other suns in other constellations, and we all go merrily around the black hole in the center of the galaxy because we're all pulling on each other. And if we're pulling on each other like the moon is pulling on the tide, there's an energy, there's a link, there's a connection, there's a force, and it's understanding what that force is. When you appreciate that the tide is pulled by the moon and you understand because the moon is close to the earth, it's like, well, duh, of course. Well then, there you go. There is an energy supply there that is completely limitless, unless you fancy stopping all the planets while you're out and about up there messing around, which ain't going to happen. The point being, yes, there's an energy source. Yes, it's free. No, it's not oil. No, it's not gas. No, it's not nuclear. No, it's not electricity. It's all to do with hiding the truth and hiding the information from you. Because the minute you understand that it's real, guess what? I want some. And this is the point. if we knew, if we understood that it was real, we understood that it had been hidden, we'd all turn around and and say, right, that's enough. Your fun and games is over. The construct's over. Your bullshit's over. Time out. Let's figure out what's gone wrong, why we were so badly misled, who misled us, and what's really been going on. And that's when we become conscious of the constructs, and then we can truly set ourselves free. And that's basically where I'm going to. So yeah, time travel is real, it is possible, it's induced by electromagnetic fields that actually allow for anti-gravity, which isn't that difficult when you think about it. But anyway, I've thought about it a lot, so I get it a lot easier. But the point being, yes, we have it, so yes, they've been using it, and yes, it's backfiring on them, because they haven't been using it for the right reasons. They've been using it for their own selfish reasons. And there's many more levels to that. But if somebody's got any...
Hey, Tony, can you hear me?
Vaguely, carry on, I understood that bit.
Okay, I just want to do a quick test to make sure I've actually moved my applications. That helps. Is that any better?
It is a little bit better, yeah, but there's still a big lot of breaking up in there.
Okay, that's bizarre. Go figure, go figure. And one of my compatriots is running a power core for me. Thank you. The juice to substitute, I get that one juiced. Yeah, I had to plug, and now it's just a matter of seeing if the power plug boosts me up enough to. I've got a signal here, guys. I really do. Can you hear me?
Again, yeah.
No bumpy. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, all good.
Okay, thanks for the moon. Yes, it's a little bumpy. We're going to have to go and do our best. Again, there's an indication to everyone. I wasn't trying to share with everyone. Might actually be a little bit of truth. It's just maybe. So, yeah. What are the odds? What are we looking for?
I'm struggling to make out what you're saying, Kate, so please understand that.
No, it's still B. Tony, we're just going to have to. I'm going to keep going on the log my Skype and log back in. The connection will be up and running for you. Okay, so just go going.
Okay, I think I've got most of that. You're going to try and log back in. Okay, cool. Okay. See you in a moment, Kate. Okay, guys. I'd like to pin down. We've got a couple of questions coming in, but I'd like to pin down on some accurate questions, and that way it might be a bit more help to you to explain a little bit more about what I've just said, because obviously there's a lot of information there, and it's pretty far out stuff for most people. So if you've got any accurate, to-the-point questions, they would be helpful. Otherwise, I'll just carry on and do the best that I can do here right now. Obviously, the trolls are having fun today, for sure. But all that goes to do is bolster the fact that the information that we're putting out is accurate stuff. It really is. It totally is. Again, I've given you a list of people that you can search. Unfortunately, I'm not as multitasking, so I can fly through these things and pull them out one by one, but I guarantee you they are in the book, Blueprints of Cosmic Consciousness. And you can get that at, and I'll just type this one in for you, www.awakeconsciousawareness.com. Please let me know if you have any difficulties with that, and I shall go and make sure that we get it somewhere else. Yes, I was actually listening to some of Judy Wood's information on Red Eyes tonight, and I heard of her years ago when she was talking about them. And if you go to a website called John, if you go and type into YouTube, you will see these weapons floating around in space. And the name of the gentleman you want to go and see, I've already looked into her. She's absolutely bang on. Her information is good. They have been using I say they loosely, we know who they are. They've been using directed energy weapons, which is basically the same sort of thing that I've been talking about with Tesla was using energy, Hutchinson effect. Yep, John Hutchinson was who I was trying to remember the name of. And, there's many other people out there that have actually come across these things before. But they've all been suppressed and hidden, etc. John Leonard Wolfson. John Leonard or Leonard Wolfson, Walson. He's actually photographed these ships that are in orbit right now, and they have been for quite a while. And these are the energy weapons I understand that we're looking at. And these things are absolutely huge. And they are traveling at millions of miles an hour in order to masquerade as stars. They're putting themselves into constellations whereby they can mimic stars and just travel round as the sky travels round. But we are talking technology that is light years way beyond anything that people know about. There is some people that know about it, but the point is that the majority of people are aware of. Again, John Leonard Wolfson, and it's space weapons or energy, space-based weapons, basically. Go for it.
Chuck, can you hear me okay?
It's not bad, actually. Carry on. A bit more.
Well, how about that? Anyway, I had to close and boot my Skype, so I hope this makes the difference that we need. How's it come across now?
Not bad, but there's still gremlins in there.
Okay, well, I guess that's just the way they grab you.
Okay, I'm hoping it's your processor catching up to the restart, because it might dissipate in a minute.
All right, I haven't got much open here, so I'm going to share a question with you, Tony, that came into me today. Can you hear me okay?
I caught the first bit really clear. The last bit broke up a bit.
Okay. Yeah, everything got up now, so it's a little clearer. But I have a comment from Lucas that I wanted to share with you.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the quote. So when they mess with timelines, that because of Saturn and control of time. And remember last year how Etna erupted in Sicily and made time in ahead. Would that be the same kind of thing? And are they able to mess with our timeline? The extra 250 genomes we have that are not from here. I know that one, but the first part. Tony?
Okay. I caught some of that, i.e. the first bit about Mount Etna and the eruption. This is precisely why I mentioned the weather balloon over Antarctica. There are specific geographical points on the globe because of the sacred geometry and we're all sacred geometry, 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 ears, 2 eyes, etc. There's sacred geometry within all of us. Even the planets, there is sacred geometry inside every planet. Every planet has a North Pole, a South Pole, etc. So there are specific areas where these points cross and touch in a similar way to ley lines. And it's on these particular points whereby you can get time interference. And you get, like I pointed out, in Antarctica, where they released the weather balloon into the same spot 3 times, and it basically went back in time, disappeared, vanished. They pulled it back in, took all the information off it, confirmed it is exactly the same, and they did that 3 times in a row. They contacted the military and said, look, this is pretty bloody weird, and we've checked it 3 times, what's going on? And the military hushed them up. And there's been many more instances of this going on. There's loads of them. Again, if you go through the book, you'll find them detailed. Lots of different people, lots of different experiments, lots of different experiences. So yes, there are energetic fields around our planet whereby time warps, twists, and can indeed be altered if you mess around with the electromagnetic fields, either on ships, either on the Eldridge or the Philadelphia experiment, which was a false name, but anyway. The point is, you can induce electromagnetic fields when you induce high currents. It's not rocket science. Electricity and magnetism can't be separated. It just depends on how you use them. So I hope that gives you some insight into your question and my answer. Kate?
Yeah, I'm here. I just have to mute every time. I was typing into the room as well. Hopefully it's getting better. Can you hear me okay?
Actually, it's getting a little bit better now, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do my best to make this work. I'm going to check on another couple of settings here just to make sure that I'm running clean and not overly hot. My computer speed is fine, so I'm going down a little bit, and hopefully that makes a difference. Is that any better?
Yeah, it's getting there now. We can hear you. You could carry on now, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try one more setting. How is that?
Need a bit more.
More, so I'm just going to do this, and hopefully this gets us sorted. Is that okay?
It's still breaking up, but it is much, much better.
Okay, fine. I might have to get something on the air tonight. The only thing I would even suggest is I can redo that if you want me to do that. Tony, what do you think?
Yeah, for my part, personally, I read it yesterday, so I'm cool, but all the people I think that missed it, maybe you should, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Lynn. A little better. I'm going to do my best here. I'll do it paragraph by paragraph, and Tony, just jump in. I'll leave you space. Anytime you feel that it's really breaking up, just let me know. So actually, I'm the thumbs up, so it's coming across a lot clearer. Excellent, thank you.
No, we've got my laptop.
Okay. Okay.
And Tara's on my laptop.
Okay, so everything is a lot better. Okay. Anyway, so hopefully this will be a lot better. Anyway. All right, let's bring this essay back up. That's the only problem with reopening my Word program. It only chews a bit of my RAM here. And I do defrag every day, so it's not an issue of RAM. So is that okay? Is that better?
You're not clear?
Not clear.
My laptop's hooked up and is on the show now. So
okay.
Maybe I can speak through that.
Okay. I guess I can. I have the option here of speaking through another computer to be better, and we're going to see. Oh, there we go. I'm going to bring Tara on now. I want to do a test, Tara. So I'm going to make you hot. Just waiting for Mike or Tara to get hot here. Can you hear me, okay, Tara?
I can. Okay, just 1 second.
What's that?
Okay, I need you to just a little bit, Tara, so I can see if it's actually going to be better. Tara, you need to speak, honey. Okay, Tara, can you hear me okay? Tara, you're on the call, honey. You have to turn off the radio now. Okay, Tony, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead, Tony. I'm gonna shift gears again and take this back to where I was, and I'm gonna actually mute Tara's mic because she's obviously got the radio going and the mic well. So I'm gonna go in and
PowerPoint? Or does it go there?
What's that? No, breaking up too.
Let's try and see if she wants to do it this way.
Oh yeah, it's breaking
Can you turn
up.
the lamp for me, please?
Okay, so all right. Okay. Tony, go ahead. I just put her on hold, so go ahead.
Okay.
Tony.
Yes. I'm here. Can you hear me? Okay. I'll carry on. Okay. So we were talking a little bit about time fields and energy fields. I did want to mention, as I say, Miahan Keshe, as in Keshe Foundation, Keshe Foundation. I'm pretty sure it's .com or .org, one of the two. It might actually be .org. But if you can go onto that site, you'll look at Professor or Dr. Miahan Keshe's work, one of the two, on plasma physics. And what Miahan Keshe demonstrates is the manipulation of matter and antimatter in plasma physics. Again, it's been totally buried, but all the world's countries, or a lot of the world's countries, to my knowledge, have been notified. When you do some research on Miahan Keshe's work, you'll find out this is indeed what is claimed, that this particular form of, as I've said, free energy, anti-gravity, force field technology, and tractor beam technology was in fact the technology that was used by the Iranian government to bring down the drone that got captured. If you remember back a little while, there was a drone that was brought down and everybody was trying to figure out how on earth they got it down in one piece without shooting it down. If you listen to Miahan Keshe's interviews, he explains he's given all of this technology to the Iranian government and other governments as well that would accept it. And basically he's been trying to explain to the world, and I can actually get a link with a video. When Kate comes back on, I will go off and get a link to the video so that we can post the video here and you can actually go and watch it. But it's an urgent shout out to mankind to say, look, please pay attention. We have this technology. We don't need famines. We don't need diseases because it works on health as well. We don't need, we've got answers to travel. We've got answers to getting away from this planet and all sorts of things. God, we could have such a future ahead of us if people actually get this information. It's incredible stuff. But yeah, it's very true. Again, it goes way back in time. They've had it and they've been hiding it for God only knows how long. But the civilizations that are running this, or the precursor of our civilization that's been running this, has been running this show for one hell of a long time. Are you there, Kate?
Yeah, I haven't left. I'm just trying to get things organized. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you even better this time, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I've got Tara on the other end there. I'm going to make my call. I just want to hear what it sounds like coming from the feed, okay? So I'm bringing Tara into the call. I just unmuted. Here we go. Unmuting mic now, and Tara will be live now. Tara, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, if that signal is actually not bad.
Yep. Tony, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. I'm guessing you're in the vicinity of Kate because there's still breaking up going on.
Yeah, feed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
okay.
it's...
I'm going to put her in my hold, and I'm getting an echo. I'm not sure if that's on your end, Tony, or it might be here. Who knows?
Right, well, I keep muted.
Okay. Yeah. Obviously, it is a lot better now. So there's and Gettysburg too. We're under CME at the moment as well. So genetic storm are getting harder. Those might just be one of them, but every show. What are the odds, right? So anyway, just want to verify that you're hearing me okay, Tom.
Yeah, it could be better, Kate, but yeah, it's okay. It's understandable to a point, yeah.
Okay, this is just so frustrating. Yeah, I'm almost thinking at this point that I'm gonna let you. We got 4 minutes left here. I'm gonna jump in where I can. I'm gonna save the essay for Friday. I'll do it again. But in the meantime, all the powers that decided to impinge on my free will choice be free. essay and a number of different information documents going to all the lawyers who are involved so that they claim ignorance any longer. Whether they open the documents, I don't give a shit. Fact is, once it's delivered, it's their responsibility. Hey, they contacted me first. Open communications. Goose gander, huh? Tony? Oh,
Thanks,
this is just not good night. Yeah, that's okay. So, did you find your link okay? Okay, that's, we lost Tony. We just lost Tony. Anyway, so, I don't know what to do. I'll wait for me to call back in. Guys, I'm going to that room, and I'm gonna lean on the chat tonight so that, what is going on. Oh, it looks like Karina was saying, I'll move this operation inside because this is not making a bean difference. We'll get all set up, and I'm just going to wait. I'm going to run as quick as I can because I know Tony will be wanting to get on, and I'll let him take the helm as much as possible tonight. So we'll go from there, and that'll be that. All right, so running to re-plug in elsewhere. I don't love this. Good thing I didn't wear heels. Yeah, good thing. Anyway, so bear with me, guys, and I'll close that and run, and I've got to get back where I probably have to get Tony back online. I heard his signals to break it up too, so it looks like they're not really digging what we're doing tonight. So oh well, guys, bear with me. The only thing I can say that to be true at this point is the simple fact that we might be doing something right with this much interference I have never experienced while I was trying to work through the legal stuff and all the rest of it. So I'm just going to go to Blog Talk again, and Tony's back. So, wow, I'm just waiting for Tony's mic to go hot here. It should be hot any second. There it is. Tony.
Yes, mate, we're hot and going. It's all cool. Yeah.
Okay, so Tara was telling us I sound clear, so.
Cool. Well, give it another go. You might have moved somewhere where there might be a good, it might have been a good move.
Okay, well, I just moved back to where I was in the beginning, so, and I guess it's about keeping us running, keeping us hopping, and what have you. Okay, where are we? Okay, Freedom's chat room. Thank you, Tony, for posting the link. I'll read it out. Hopefully you hear it. www.keshefoundation.org, which is KESHE Foundation, FOUNDATION.org. So that's www.keshefoundation.org. Actually, there's a good topic to continue on with, Tony. You can hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, excellent. Now, you brought up a very interesting point with regards to the drone that the Iranians brought down using a different technology. And this is one of the things that I want to stress to people, that there will not be a World War III, because the facts remain. Zionist aspects within the Israeli government, not Jews, it's got to do with Jews. They've been used to scapegoats long enough. So enough of that, okay? I've had enough of that. Let's call the spade what the spade is. These are political elements, not religious ones. They're using Judaism as their crutch. They did the same tactic in World War II with Hitler, okay? We're dealing with here are Ashkenazi, Khazarians. These guys are mercenaries, and they have no interest in any religion. For them, it is all about Neanderthalic power. And we're dealing with our remnants of the Neanderthal. that got wiped out by the Homo sapien. Okay, not all of it. Some of their genome got into us, and that is the 250 genomes. And I can hear Tony typing away here. Thank you. So hopefully, you hear me okay, Tony?
Yep, I can hear you. I was just typing in the video press release that they released and directed towards Obama, saying to Obama, basically, look, we know you've got this technology. We've got this technology. We've offered you. We know you've got some of it anyway with Area 51 and all the rest of it, but this is the point. The world needs to know now. We have anti-gravity, free energy, forms of healing, and forms of space travel that are beat the crap out of you, any of your multi-billion-dollar fighter planes. Basically, they are tinker toys. They're not worth the materials they're built from now.
Oh, that's so true, especially with the new Raptor. I mean, pilots are getting knocked out because of bad oxygen supplies. I mean, it's a flying disaster, and it is. It's a tinker toy compared to what technologies are to render all these weapons that the U.S. military, the military-industrial complex are using to blow the shit out of this planet. And what we're dealing with here now are electromagnetic pulse weapons that can nullify entire battlefields without even firing a shot. So what we're at now is a cancellation of all of the war aspect. And really, the only thing that's out there are idiots, warmongers like Benjamin Netanyahu, who is, when he was in front of the UN the other day, he was effectively outlining everything that Israel had been doing and trying to peg it on the Iranians. And that's a typical Zionist tactic. And that's why the Jews were made scapegoats and have been for so very long. Okay? This has got nothing to do with religion. And as long as people are stuck in the religio-coast program, my God is better than your God, and I will kill you to prove bullshit, the wars will continue for them. We are moving into a new age called Aquarius, where we know, it's not I believe anymore with Pisces, we know now. And Tony, you've nailed it so many times on so many shows with me, and so many conversations. We have the technology, we have the ability, and what we need now is just to get the word out. And that's one of the reasons why, they're trying to shut people like you and me and so many others up that are spreading the truth. I can't go any any deeper than that. So the fact that we've been attacked on so many levels, physical and ethereal, time jumping, spiritual aspects. I mean, I've had my run-ins with 4Ds, the shadow people. So none of this stuff here phases me at all, and it's gotten quite comical. So Kate the bitch, I mean, she's here to have fun now for a change, and let's have some fun. What do you think, Tony?
Yeah, well, we're out there doing it, aren't we? This is the point. We've got to get the consciousness level, or the conscious awareness level of the population up to speed with the fact that this kit exists, and we've got it. So that's it. Put the wheel away. We're going for a ride in an anti-grav system soon.
Oh, exactly. I mean, here's the thing about the roads that we have too, right? All postal roads. The problem with anti-grav is the fact they're not traveling on their roads anymore. So you're actually out of jurisdiction in a very ethereal sense, so it's pretty awesome. I mean, when people can actually open their eyes and take their head out of the rectum mind by government, as soon as they can do that and start looking at things, that maybe everything is as they were told. And I mean, you remember the essay I did, Behold My Canvas? What exactly on your canvas is yours and what belongs to someone else that you're selling their idea? And that's what it boils down to. What do you think?
Yeah, we need to let them stop stealing our crayons and scribbling over the canvas like a spoiled little child. That's what I think.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing that people, Lynn, you just nailed it. You have to laugh because that is the one energy that they cannot counter. Has anybody seen Monster Inc.? I mean, they're a kids' movie that tells you exactly what's going on. What do? They're generating all this power because they're trying to scare shit out of children in the middle of the night in their bedrooms and puddling it and using it to power their city. What happens at the end of it all? What happens is the fact that they discover that laughter has got 1,000 times more power in it. So take a lesson from a kids' movie. I mean, kid yourself. Disney was not a friend of many of these individuals, and he put out a ton of truth, and he put it in movies. And again, there's good and evil. He actually one of the shows was I've seen the picture floating around. I know I have it in my collection of a scene from it was a Scrooge, Scrooge McDuck. On the wall, it had an eye chart that spelled out Illuminati. I'm going to go dig it up right now because I have it in the computer, and I'm going to let people know what it is. But I tell you, if I am actually coming across, well, I'm going to take another stab at that essay, if you don't mind, Tony.
Yeah, dive in there, Kate.
Okay, I'm just waiting for it to open. In the meantime, I'm going to open up the pictures as well. So we'll see what happens here.
Cool.
All right, sorry about it. I'm kind of doing my thing here. I'm going to transfer this picture over to. I'm going to put it right on your desktop. So just get something here, else I can find it. I'm not sure if I have it in this file or not. Anyway, I think I'll waiting for the essay to open. In the meantime, I will scroll down and see if I. Oh, that one's yours. This one's mine. Yours is Scorpio. I love those scorpions. And for all scorpions out there, Scorpios that are listening, going to be coming into your time zone shortly, and you guys have got. You're one of the main power points of the Zodiac, and this is one of the reasons why I like to share all my Scorpio friends are very happy, because they have the absolute power of destruction and the absolute power of creation. And the happier Scorpios are, the happier I. Trust. I speak truth. More than you realize. Anyway, you hear me, Kate? I feel paranoid right now. Just wanting to make sure you can hear. Once in a while it breaks up? Yeah. Okay.
It's not bad as it was before.
Okay, so it sounds like I'm getting across there. I have a cross-reference with Tara, so if any breaks up, start knocking the table. Okay, I need to know this. So I've got eyes in front here. Okay. So I'm going to. Sorry, I've got some really funny pictures. I just spotted one. It's really hilarious. But anyway, here we go. All right, so minimize that, and I'll bring the picture up here. So here we go. Give them not, for they know what they do. Tara Pension. Now, before you all go all cockeyed and vengeful, remember this. There is good and evil in everything, and everything you have ever experienced was your choice as well. You were there, and every choice you have ever made brought that particular now moment. None are guilty, inasmuch as none are innocent. Such is the nature of grasping the singularity of the duality paradigm. I have to give an offer of gratitude to Mary Croft, since it was she who inspired this little essay today, which was Monday, after our little talking about this and that, choose, etc. chat. My obliged, Mary. As I have so often said and will continue to say until it sinks in, if you feel need to forgive, have judged that you have been wronged in some way. And the only judgment and forgiveness is the responsibility of each and every one of us, singularity duels, on ourselves and self. To me, of all things, this is the most critical thing to grasp. If you are caught up in good or evil, you are trapped and will be because you're living in duality, not singularity of duality. And while you blame outside of yourself, you will be seeking vengeance, period. This is also trespassing on the free will choices of self and others, and why I do not offer help to those who are not seeking it. As I say, and will continue to say, be a light and others see if they choose and are ready to. It is always my hope that the moths come close enough to my own flame, where I can set their wings on fire, where they too become a beacon of light for other moths like us. And that being said, let's get to the nitty-gritty of the essay title. Every sentient being knows when they are doing harm, and it is only through their own greed and ignorance that they do this or continue to do this when they have been shown the harm they have caused. Now, this is not about judging, wherein observations in peace have become your most powerful tool if you be strong enough to wield it. Take, for example, all the beings that continued to attack me when I was advising them all along that I was being harmed by their ignorant of truth actions. That is the joy and permanence of truth. Once discovered, is yours with no retreat. Again, this is about perspective and perspective only. I locate my perspective with this easy formula. Is that something I would do or something I would not do, as per my perspective of choosing my own experience? Would I knowingly harm myself or not? Is another way of saying that. Well, there are some that would choose that. It's their choice. And it's fine with me as long as it doesn't include me. That's my free will choice. All too often we pretend to be everyone's parent by saying, do this and don't do that. What point did you decide to play the over God in that most judging of others role? Let's the judge that bowed to me the prime example. No one tell me that this guy wasn't a savvy higher up in their illusion. First off, let me make it clear that there was no ticket or tickets as they claimed there was. That's lying deception number one. Even the local paper was playing along, doing its level best to toe the party line of the courts and cops, alongside the City Hall of Guelph, and all parties involved there too. Oh yes, there were many folks involved in this ruse. What most people also do not realize is they consider all people to be expert in commercial paper and negotiable instruments, in that everyone uses their paper every day. Things like cash, checks, contracts, etc. Yes, according to them, you are an expert. You are a merchant of law, as assumption. Many have not read the clerk's praxis and how admiralty law really works. While all this fine dandy, can also be assumed that they too are the same in making the assumption of assumptions in the first place. So herein lays their quandary. Only an expert can claim make an equal assumption of another. In short, to be able to call someone an asshole, you will have had to be one at one time or another. So, on the 1st of September 2010, when I gave the payment bond called a birth certificate in to settle the account, so on the 1st of September 2010, when I gave the payment bond called a birth certificate in to settle the account, it was ignored for only two reasons. Either the judge that day is ignorant of being a merchant of law, and thus shouldn't have been sitting on the bench that day, or it was a willful fraud on his part. My assumption was that he knew exactly what I gave him, an apostilled copy of the birth bond to be used payment, and that it was he, not I, that was obligated to stand in on. After all, he was me to be the expert, inasmuch as I equally assume he be an expert. Hey, what's good for the goose is good for the gander from equal and opposite perspectives. Herein lays their problem now. The birth bond was given and left there for any and all future requirements to settle any and all payment needs the greedy little heart's desires. What this means is that every willful act against me and my family was done in either complete ignorance or willfully wishing harm by means of pure and utter fraud. So I have to assume the latter, because if I were to assume the ignorance on their parts, well, Well, they all need to find employment since they are mentally incompetent to do their jobs as required. Any and all peaceful settlements. How's for a bit of pickle? So this is where I return full circle my essay called Choices. They are now caught in the universal laws of death and the deep blue sea, or damned if they do and damned if they don't. You see, I can always understand when someone harms me knowingly, in any circumstance, given that I was there as well, and needed to learn something. Although I find it more difficult to understand and keep doing the same things over and over again. The reeks of ignorance, insanity, and malfeasant intention. It all boils down to the intentions from an ignorant perspective, always. This is the problem with all of their laws that are based solely in commercial merchant law, and it's been that way since Edward I, affectionately known as Eddie Longshanks. You know, the guy William Wallace pissed off and then handed his ass. It actually goes back a lot further, but that's a more current reference point for most. There is no such thing as criminal law. It's all commercial, and it's hidden under the guise of that. This is why people like O.J. Simpson and many cops get away with murder, literally. It is all about charging accounts, or, simply put, it's all about the money, or mono-eye God they worship. Okay, so back to, there is no such thing as criminal law. It's all commercial, and it's hidden under the guise of that. This is why people like O.J. Simpson and many cops can get away with murder, literally. It is all about charging an accounts, or, more simply put, all of the money, or the mono God they worship. Break it up again. Same spot. I'm going to keep this again, Grounds, until it gets through. I don't care. Keep at it. Like 20 minutes. If this is all that gets out tonight, great. Well, I'll do that again. Same spot?
Yeah.
Okay. There is no such thing as criminal law. It's all commercial and under.
Right away.
Look up again. See, they don't like this. There is no such thing as criminal law. Got it? Okay. It's all commercial, and it's hidden under the guise of that. This is why people like O.J. Simpson and many cops can get away with murder, literally.
Oh, I didn't like that.
They didn't like that? Let's try again. It's all commercial and hidden under the guise of that. This is why people like O.J. Simpson and many cops can get away with murder, literally. It's all about charging accounts, or, more simply put, it's all about the money or the mono God they worship. Did we get it?
The last part was a little bit breaking up, but most of it got here.
Okay, so I'm just checking. That's good enough. We know the worship me. It's all good.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Idiot. Here we go. So something else they will have to consider, and ones that are ignorant of this, is that anyone who brings the charge forward is responsible for paying for it. Hey, you don't pay anyone else's visa statement when they charge for something, do you? So what in fact happened is that they may assume that it is you who are being charged to buy their goods, and that that you do not want, while also expecting you to pay for it. This is not about doing what is loving or right to me. It's quite the mirror of that. This is how depraved their system is. The level of ignorance or willful harm that it has gone to. In short, the cop wants to charge you with anything. It is they who must pay from their funds. So make sure you get their QSIP number, huh? Here's this as well. Once cops get the message loud and clear, they'll be a little more apprehensive of handing out charges they have to pay. Okay? There we go. Once cops get this message loud and clear, they'll be a little more apprehensive about handing out charges. They don't like apprehensive. They'll be a little more apprehensive about handing out charges they have to pay. Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, they're merchants of law too. and must be experts as such, right?
They don't like me.
So, they don't like the fact that the cop, everyone is assumed merchant of law. They don't like that, do they? No. They're liking it now?
Okay.
Is it getting through? It's getting through?
Yeah.
That every cop is a merchant of law?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And every lawyer and every judge? And everybody that actually thinks they're in the system? Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good, got it out. All right, they're merchants of law too, and they must be experts as such, right? I mean, that's what the...
Oh, they don't like experts.
Oh, yeah, well, we're all experts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, let's just assume it so we can assume they are too. I mean, that's what courts and systems assume, right? See gander. So the only question I'd ever ask a judge now is if they are merchants of law. That simple question can all the burden of proving their ignorance and honor. It is beyond laughable and sad when I read case info like Meads versus Meads, where Justice Rook, guess who are now, waxes eloquence about why he made his decision and goes on to berate anyone that challenges their wannabe God status. While I agree with his position that those who try to use the law to finagle out of something they did wrong, I find it equally insulting that he berates anyone exposing his system of law as the fraud mess it is. It's akin to a peacock in heat. He went on to list many in the Freeman movement, Stop Citizens, etc., rightly so, being the gimme that they are. I noticed that somehow one of the best beings in this movement was not listed. And I mean, hey, it was a Canadian justice, and you think he'd consider the only one that made one of his compatriots bow, or wouldn't you? I know exactly why I wasn't mentioned, and that is for you to figure out if you can. What I find funny also is that they could have made all this go away if they just left me alone, as was my intention. If all the kids that fight and steal in the sandbox want to do that, have at it. Leave me outside that box. I also enjoyed his position on trying to make sure all Canadians enjoyed the protections, etc., of very laws designed to screw them. Mustn't be a merchant law either. Epic from my book, and only have one set, not two sets that they like to keep. It's really quite simple for my overview. I gave them the bond on video, no less, that they were commercially seeking to settle accounts.
Oh, the bring up flaggers.
They didn't like the video comment, did they? Yeah. So, yeah, not liking this. So I'm waiting for her to give the go-ahead. How you doing? Are we sounding better?
Yeah.
It's really quite simple for my overview. I gave them the bond/person on video, no less. Millions of people have seen that they were commercially seeking. This is the document they needed. I was the bond to pay that they were commercially seeking to sell all accounts.
Oh, they like bonds.
Yeah, they don't like me talking about bonds, right?
Oh, I feel like that now.
Yeah, they don't like this at all. That's all right. Yeah, I'm going to laugh and have fun with it. So here we go again. I gave them the bond/person on video, no less. They were commercially seeking to sell.
Video scramble.
Video scramble. Okay, guys. The judge bows off video. Got it? That is only video in existence that has a judge bow, and not only that, video evidence, a Crown apostille copy of a birth certificate getting surrendered for payment. And I knew he knew what to do with it because he's a merchant of law like me. For the good, for the gain. Here we go. So I gave them on the person they were commercially seeking to settle all accounts, and what did they do after that? Well, beyond me getting tailed constantly, pulled over in half by the same car, Craig Nye, 3 times, and a group of well-trained fetchers in Hamilton, having my family ripped apart, stealing my house, my truck, my car, vast amounts of possessions, collections, coin and paper currency collections, on mine and on my dad left me when he died, thousands upon thousands of their dollars worth of food. The cops emptied my bar, physically abused me numerous times, unlawfully imprisoned me 28 days in solitary, time jumped me to correct a document.
Oh, time jump.
Okay, they time jumped me to correct a document They time jumped me to correct a document they screwed up, like every other document, etc. Now, he's also another friend, and I just said it. These so-called experts have bungled on every piece of commercial paper they have ever tried to ram down my throat. Sorry, I'm not eating. I love this. Even the lead detective, Kevin Slick, screwed up on a document. Yeah. Even the lead detective, Kevin Slick, screwed up on a document he tried to serve me that made him the respondent, not the appellant. Even the judge mentioned the level of incompetence she was used to. She laughed. It was funny. I was there. That was my quote bond / quote bail hearing. They had the document, had it for 2 years at that point. They have okay, so they have screwed up every piece of paper. The latest now exposed where time jumping is not an option. They screwed up the birth date. So what they've done is they've monetized a bond, a signature, in complete out of their own system. So I guess I've got to go back, start, letting the people know. You got to have the bond name and bond birth date coinciding, you see. And when you screw that up, it's null and void. And what I did was I initialed at the bottom to verify. When I saw it, it's like I wasn't going to sign anything. I was like, oh, no, there's a mistake. I love when they make mistakes, so I signed up to make sure that it was there, and I validated it. And I knew that they were going to monetize it, so I guess they're really screwed. So, all right, so the timing is not an option. That's another story, and Dick nearly shit himself when I asked him about it during my abuse in solitary. I wonder how he didn't like that. That's another story, and Slick Dick nearly shit himself when I asked him about it during my abuse in solitary. Okay. Anyway, this was when I was down in the cells for the bond or bail hearing, or whatever. He was trying to serve that document that he screwed up. Too funny. And I looked him square in the eye and I said, "Hey, so was it you that timed up, or was it one of your gophers on a short leash?" And his face went white. He said, "Oh, I'm just doing my job," and he walked away. And I've never seen him since. Anyway, so I wonder how he'd feel sitting in a cell for 24 hours a day beside a guy who was in there for just murdering a 12-year-old. This is not about anger or revenge, but rather simply outlining the amount of contempt and ignorance these beings have for mankind as a whole. This is about letting them know that this is something I would never wish on them. Where I really begin to feel pity, or begin to feel pity, where I really begin to feel pity is when I realize that they will have to undergo all these tests themselves at some point, because the pendulum must return in full and opposite swing to bring the balance of natural laws with them to neutral center. There is pure truth in what comes around goes around. A bully knows that they're a bully, and eventually every bully gets their ass handed them. The balance of fear and harm they foment on others is what they can expect in return, without me or anyone else ever lift a finger. This is the way of this universe. We just have to expose it. These beings have to self-correct. If they don't, the universe will do it for them. Real laws say so. Now, indeed, forgive them. Yeah, real law says so. Indeed, forgive them not. They do know what they do. Indeed, forgive them not. They do know what they do, and they will have to determine with that and settle a much more important account beyond their illusion of their monolith God. We are in the scales of Libra right now, where this reckoning is coming down to bear. They know it. Very shortly, we will be in Scorpio, and the scorpion sting will be upon all of those knowingly harming another. Oh, as far as asking some penis-laden old guy with beard in the sky for forgiveness, good luck with that, because we are gods, silly, and you'll render your own judgment upon self. No one or nothing else, since we are no one or nothing else, since we are all photons of light from pure creator consciousness. where the light is permanent and will shine upon all eventually. There is no one coming to save you, and the fact that the Bible in the court is very telling in that I know what the book is really saying, and it sure ain't literal. So in closing, I will simply offer all parties. Party, is it going or we're good? So in closing, I will simply offer all parties.
Now in closing.
Go figure. In closing, I will simply offer all parties who harm me to put back in place that which they have rendered against me for choosing to stand in my light, love, and truth. I am now your mirror, where you are completely visible. No smoke or illusion, for I know how this universe works. Like Paul said, well, you're chosen master anyway. If but one shall awaken, we are doomed. If but one shall awaken, we are doomed. Their words, they know it. Well, sorry to have to tell you, I am awakened, and getting better every day, where every action you have wrought or events will now only blow up in your proverbial face. It is my wish in peace that you not be harmed. So I guess from there, the choice really is yours. I will not trespass on your free will choice to experience everything your choices seek for you in your own evolution to knowledge. Besides, who am I to judge? Or judge not lest ye be judged comes into play. Nope, that is one pendulum I'm steering my ship well away from. That is one pendulum I'm steering my ship well away from. Your move, my love, me. Tony, there.
Absolutely, Kate. Yep. Brilliantly said. Well made it through, I tell you. Not easy to do with a mic cracking.
Yeah. Well, I had a coach here that was listening to time late, letting me know what was getting scrambled, so I just kept repeating it until the assholes gave up.
Can I say
we win.
I know that.
Yeah.
I know. Can I say something?
Yeah, we got 4. Tony, we got 4 minutes. So yeah, go ahead.
Spelling it out like that made it much clearer for people to understand, me included.
Awesome. And just to let you know, we've got 3 minutes left here, so I'm going over to the board to see how much time I actually have. And I can't see right now where it is. You got a lot of stuff, eh? They'll give me the heads up on it, but I know we've got less than 3 minutes. So, anyway, what's your website?
Yeah, awakeconsciousawareness.com, and there they can get the book, and it'll blow your mind if it's not already wide awake.
And I concur with that, Tony. It will blow their minds. You can also get Tony's book, Blueprint Cosmic Consciousness, on my blog page. And you can get to his site, get to Santo and Bill Donahue, and all the truth that you'll ever need to finish off this round as we go into Aquarius. All right? So you can there at loveovermind.wordpress.com. So, yeah, I have no idea how much time we have left. I'm just waiting. Okay. All right, right after I hit the website, we scrambled. So anyway, Tony, any last words here? We got a minute or so.
Yeah, just thanks for having me on, and God bless to all the listeners, and thank you, listeners. God bless you especially for listening in with all the trouble we've had. It is an important message. We need to get it out. Please share it with your friends. Good night.
Thank you, Tony. Yeah, we just got the 9-second call there, so I do want to make sure that everyone knows who our strengths are within us. QLP Multimedia. Joe Guzman, thank you so much for everything you do. awakeradio.co.uk. Love you guys. They're all my former friends. Well, they're still my friends. We were all TNS together, and we all bailed from that because, well, we know better. We're not into ballistics here. And radio.com, thechangingtimeradio.com, .com or .net, .ning, .ning, so these changing times, .ning.com. Okay, you can Google all this stuff too. Yeah, go figure. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for sticking it out with me. You know we're getting going across. You know we're telling the truth, because how many other people get messed up with this much? Anyway, you have been listening to the Sidebox here on Freedom Reigns Blog Radio. And you can get us every Wednesday and Friday night, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, with me and Tony as we rock your boat. Much love to all. Safe travels. Have a great night. But what the carrier waves are generating as you're sitting there in that semi-hypnotic state, that's where they're programming your reptilian brainstem. And I did have a couple of questions earlier from people today, Tony, that I'm going to get you to address with your expertise in terms of time travel and time jumping and whatnot. My own experience, of course, but with regards to Saturn and, well, it being Chronos and time. One of the observations from Lucas, thank you for this little bit of information update. Mount Etna erupted and there was a 15-minute loss of time. I believe that was last year. I'll go to the post and read it outright. I love the fact that so many people are contacting you, myself, and so many others, and all this information is coming in hardcore to a crescendo. But I will ask you this, Tony. Are you feeling the coalescence of all of the people that are required to be together, coming together? I'm seeing it.
Totally. There's no question whatsoever. It's all happening at once.
Oh, exactly. So I'm just going to go to my messenger. Okay, not on that. I believe it was in a post. I have to go to my email, so I'll go there. But anyway, yeah, so Tony, I do have an essay tonight, and I think maybe just to get the energy of what we're going to talk about, I think I would like to share that first. And again, this is about revealing truths of truths, and every essay that I find myself writing is directly delivered from source. I'm just a messenger here, and you're Gemini, I'm Gemini, so that's our job. We're supposed to be getting the word out, and I think we're getting there. What do you think? Just a bit. And I think I mentioned last week to you that last Wednesday's show with Peter, when I was just Googling around the net and stuff, and I come across the fact that of 2,399 shows last week, we were in the number 6 spot for popularity. So not bad for a newer show on Freedom Reigns, but Freedom Reigns has always been at the forefront of bringing truth to people and exposing things like the Tim Turner and Rita and Drake, exposing them for our pure shill aspects to keep people in anger. And I guess maybe tonight, if Diaz wants to jump in, to give a bit of an update on what is going on with Tim Turner. And as far as I know, he is in jail right now, and he does not get a court appearance until March. So no bond, no bail, nothing. So also Pied Piper with TruthCentralRadio.com. I think Tony's going to bring in a couple of others that he is involved with as well, just to get the word out that it is extremely important that we, as a unified voice of all radio stations that are trying to get this message out, that everyone gets their due diligence of praise. And I do say praise very loosely. This is not about, oh, look at me, that's ego aspects. What this is about is so many of us have thrown in everything into this game to get what we're sharing with you tonight and every time we're on the air, literally for free. So we just hope that you value the truth enough, and everyone's got their donate buttons. And I put a word out today as far as Santo Bonacci, who's going through the middle as well, Bill Donahue, always. These people, Tony, you've got a donate button on your site, and of course there's always the chip in button on Freedom Reigns if you feel free to chip in towards my direction. But anyway, that's not important. What is important is while we're in the now, we get the word out now. So, Tony, that being said, how are things in the jurisdiction of the United Kingdom?
Clamping down in all sorts of areas as usual. We're in a police state where it's tightening CCTV cameras, and we've got all the bee's knees here, locking us down bit by bit. Pretty much the same everywhere else, but it's a bit tighter in the UK.
Yeah, and Tony, there's no surprise there. Here we are in Libra, which is the scales, the balancing, the gathering of groups, and unification of people. Libra is an extremely powerful force, and as I've said before, and will continue to say, that what we're experiencing right now is the culmination of 2,160 years of holy science being compressed into each 29.5-day cycle of each sign. So what people are going to be experiencing, the sun is a prime example of that energy that is really starting to ramp up to get this information into people, and powers that are doing their utmost to block it in all ways. Chemtrails, you name it, HARP, oh geez, Tony, the list goes on, MK Ultra stuff, even in the very electricity we use with the 60 hertz cycle, and one of the most powerful tools, of course, and I know people that are tuned in right now do not watch television. That is their most powerful tool of indoctrination. And what most people don't realize is not what they're watching on TV, but they consider it as a severe flight risk with the amount of money he's got all around the world. Now, when you have someone that's got that kind of asset around the world, the first I'll go to is what kind of interest you have. And really, for me anyway, they're not doing that which needs to be done in dispelling this illusion, this mono eye God aspect. So what do you think? Start with the essay?
Yeah, go for it. Get in there. Tune it out.
Okay, and then I do touch on the time jumping very briefly in this essay, and I do want to get into that because it is a critical piece of information as to how these guys operate. They work their ways around it. I can show people how easy it is to absolutely screw with their program, which is kind of why we're here, right? But without further ado, I'll do this essay. The title of the essay, and I do these in chronological order. You can get them on the web page. Thank you, Cynthia, for all the work you do, keeping it organized and pretty for everyone. Essay, and it's www.loveovermind.wordpress.com. This essay I wrote a couple of days ago is called "Forgive Them Not, for They Know What They Do." All right. Now, before you all go off cockeyed and vengeful, remember this. There is good and evil in everything, and everything you have ever experienced was your choice as well. You were there, and every choice you have ever made brought that particular now moment. None are guilty, inasmuch as none are innocent. Such is the nature of grasping the singularity of the duality paradigm. I have to give an offer of gratitude to Mary Croft, since it was she who inspired this little essay today after our little talking about this and that, shoes, etc. chat. Much obliged, Mary. Thank you. As I have so often said and will continue to say until it sinks in, if you feel the need to forgive, you have judged that you have been wronged in some way. The only judgment and forgiveness is the responsibility of each and every one of us, singularity duals, upon ourselves and self. Now, to me, of all things, this is the most critical thing to grasp. If you are caught up in the good or evil, you are trapped and will be because you are living in duality, not the singularity of duality. Now, while you blame outside of yourself, you will be seeking vengeance, period. This is also trespassing on the free will choices of self and others, and why I do not offer help to those who are not seeking it. As I say, and will continue to say, be Hey, and welcome to Outside the Box. I'm your host, Kate of Gaia, with co-host Tony Z, who is in the process of trying to get on air right now. Normal trouble with Skype as it goes. You know the rules. The Skype gremlins do not like what we have to say anytime we open our faces. So we open our face a lot, and we attract a lot of gremlins. And don't forget, guys, this is a call-in show, so please feel free to call in at area code 714-868-0749. So welcome to Outside the Box on Freedom Reigns Blog Talk Radio, where the truth is something that we just can't help ourselves getting out there, and get it out in as big a dose as we can twice a week here at Freedom Reigns, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard on Wednesdays and Fridays, and Tony is in the room. So I just bring in Tony live here. Before we go any further, Tony, what I do want to do is pay homage to all of those people that we are working with very closely in terms of getting the word out worldwide on numerous stations, numerous avenues of media, with awakeradio.co.uk. I do shows there every Wednesday morning. I did one this morning, of course, and that's from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 4 to 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And, of course, tonight in the UK, if you're tuned in, it is midnight, and you are a real truth seeker because you're still not in bed. And that's a good thing. I'd also like to thank QLP Multimedia, Johnny Guzman, by far, of all the people that interview me, he's top of the heap. Just always love doing video interviews with him. He just gets right to the nitty-gritty, and he brings the right information and the right questions to the table where it's accessible to all ears, all eyes, all minds. And that's really what it boils down to, because we are all in this boat together called Earth, and the easier it is for people to grasp at whatever level you're at, grassroots, right up to, you know, theological scientists, or whatever you want to call it, top-end professors. You know, we have a message to share for everyone, and we hope, and this is our only hope, they grasp the concepts that we are trying to share with you as much as we do. There's also light, and others will see it if they choose and are ready to. Now, it is always my hope that the moths come close enough to my own flame where I can set their wings on fire, where they too become a beacon of light for other moths like us. That being said, let's get to the nitty-gritty of the essay title. Every sentient being knows when they are doing harm, and it is only through their own greed and ignorance that they do this or continue to do this when they have been shown the harm they have caused. Now, this is not about judging, wherein observations in peace have become your most powerful tool, if you can be strong enough to wield it. Take, for example, all of the beings that continue to attack me when I was advising them all along that I was being harmed by their ignorant of truth actions. That is the joy and permanence of truth. And once discovered, it is yours with no retreat. Again, this is all about perspective and perspective only. I locate my perspective with this easy formula. Is that something I would do or something I would not do, as per my perspective of choosing my own experience? Would I knowingly harm myself or not, is another way of saying that. While there are some that would choose that is their choice, and is fine with me as long as it doesn't include me. That's my free will choice. All too often, we pretend to be everyone's parent by saying, do this and don't do that. At what point did you decide to play the over-God in that most judging of others role? Let's take the judge that bowed to me as a prime example. No one can tell me that this guy wasn't a savvy higher-up in their illusion game. First off, let me make it clear that there was no ticket or tickets as they claimed there was. That's lie and deception number one. Even the local paper was playing along, doing its level best to toe the party line of the courts and cops alongside the City Hall of Guelph and all parties involved there too. Oh yes, there were many folks involved in this ruse. And what most people also do not realize is that they consider all people to be experts in commercial paper and negotiable instruments, in that everyone uses their paper every day. Things like cash, checks, contracts, etc. Yes, according to them, you are an expert. You are a merchant of law, as the assumption. Many have not read the clerk's praxis and how admiralty law really works. While all that is fine and dandy, it can also be assumed that they too are the same in making that assumption of assumptions in the first place. So herein lays their quandary. Only an expert can claim to make an equal assumption of another. In short, to be able to call someone an asshole, you will have to have had to be one at one time or another, eh? So, on the 1st of September 2010,